What's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today, and today we're going to be talking about the Houston Rockets potentially signing Dillon Brooks from the Memphis Grizzlies in free agency. As today, Bleacher Report announced that multiple NBA scouts see the Rockets being interested in 3 players going into free agency: Dillon Brooks of the Memphis Grizzlies, Kristaps Porzingis of the Washington Wizards, and Fred VanVleet of the Toronto Raptors. Now, I will say I do not see Porzingis happening. Only way I see Porzingis coming to the Rockets is if, well, it's not only Porzingis coming to the Rockets, it's also the Rockets being interested in Kristaps, is if the Rockets get picked 2. Because if the Rockets get picked 2, then you're looking at the roster, and most likely the Rockets, you're not going to get Wembanyama, you're going to get Scoot Henderson at 1. At 2, my bad. If you get the 2nd overall pick or even the 3rd overall pick, you're going to get Scoot Henderson at 2, and then you put him at the 1, you put Jalen at the 2, Jabari at the 3, and then let's say you go after Porzingis, he's at the 4, and then Alp is at the 5. So that's the only way I see Kristaps Porzingis, not only him being interested in the Rockets, but also the Rockets being interested in him, is if the Rockets do not land the 1st overall pick. With VanVleet, I see the Rockets being interested in VanVleet if the Rockets do get the 1st overall pick, and then they draft Wembanyama, and they have Jalen Green at the 2, and then Jabari at the 3, Wemby at the 4, and Sengun at the 5. The Rockets with a talented, 2 through 5 could be looking in for a nice point guard like James Harden or Fred VanVleet. So that's where I see Fred VanVleet coming into the table. So I think the Rockets, I think there are, for VanVleet and Porzingis, I think there are, you're gonna have to see 2 different things happen to potentially the Rockets being interested in. That's how I think it will go for the Rockets. Now, as of Dillon Brooks, I think the Rockets are going to have interest. It doesn't matter what pick they get, whether they get 1, 2, 3, 4. Hell, I don't hope this happens, but 5. I mean, that could happen. I think we could even fall to 6. But I think the Rockets are going to have some interest for Dillon Brooks, a guy who was actually drafted by the Rockets in the first round, 2017. And the Rockets traded him to the Grizzlies on draft day. But, yeah, he's a guy who was drafted by the Rockets, and he was traded. Literally, I think we introduced him. We introduced him in as a Rocket, the draft press conference or whatever. I don't know if that's the day or 2. I think that's the day after the draft, or it was back then. But we traded him, I think, maybe a day after the draft or something, or the day after he got introduced. So he was a Rocket for a couple of days, not too long, but he's not. Maybe he's wearing a little bit of Rockets gear. I mean, the hat when he got drafted, but besides that, he's never worn a jersey for the Rockets. And I think he's a guy who could be a decent signing for the Rockets off the bench. I don't see Brooks being a starter for the Rockets, which could be a reason why Brooks wouldn't be interested in coming to the Rockets right now with the Grizzlies. He is a starter. I mean, look at how we'll go here. Let's say you get the 2nd overall pick instead of the 1st. You got Scoot Henderson at the 1. You got Jalen at the 2, and then possibly you start Dillon Brooks at the 3, and then Jabari at the 4, and then you have Alp at the 5. That's the only way I see Dillon Brooks being a starter. If you land number 1, get Wembanyama, you have 1. Either you sign someone, Fred VanVleet or James Harden, to play the point guard, or you have KPJ back at it again for the 3rd straight season as the point guard. Then Jalen at the 2, Jabari at the 3, Wembanyama at the 4, and then at the 5, Sengun. So then you have Brooks off the bench as the 6th man. So I wonder if that happens, if you were able to, if you're able to, if he'll want to come here, if you end up getting the first overall pick, and he knows he's gonna play off the bench. So that should be interesting to me. I think it would be a good signing for the Rockets, but I think it just all depends and see what happens with the Rockets. And you guys have more thoughts on potentially signing Dillon Brooks? That's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out.